everybody, I am Nicole. Well, I am a mom of 3 beautiful girls. I'm also a flight attendant for a major US airline. I travel very much for work, but I also travel for pleasure, to visit family in other countries. And most of the time I have to go alone with my children. It is very taxing if you don't have the hang of flying, traveling in general with children, especially when you're not bringing another adult with you, especially when there's more than one child. I'm here to give you 10 great tips to make your travel experience much easier and much more effortless. Number 1 is get to the airport early. I can't stress this one enough. Normally they say for a domestic flight, you should get to the airport 2 hours before your flight. Internationally, they say 3 hours before a flight. Add even another hour to that. If you have children, it might seem like you want to spend less time at the airport. It is very helpful if you get there early. That way you don't feel rushed when things are not going right. When a baby dropped her shoe and the other one needs to go to the bathroom. It just becomes so much more fluid. Tip number 2, check everything you can as soon as you can. Any luggage, just check it curbside or right inside check-in. Try to carry the least amount of things as possible. If you can, carry one bag and just make sure you have your essentials that you really, really need in there on what you should have in there. Just have one bag to carry for everybody. Check the rest and forget it. Don't forget it, just till later. Number 3, what to bring in your diaper bag. Not necessarily just a diaper bag. If you don't have babies, bring at least one change of clothes for each child. Diapers, bring wipes, bring snacks, bring a bottle if you need one. You can have milk, you can have formula, you can have breast milk. That can pass through security just fine. They usually just have to test it, but there's no issues. Bring snacks and drinks that for babies. Any other drinks, you can get it at the airport, of course. Another just bonus tip, you could bring an empty water bottle and fill it up at the airport. That's just a bonus tip. Bring their favorite coloring book, regular reading book. My kids, they love to bring their own bag of coloring book with pencils. They bring a book to read. This is all in one little area of my bag itself. Sometimes they do want to bring their own bag, and at this point I do let them bring one bag that they can carry easily that just has their activities, and it's life-changing. Don't assume that the airplane has headphones, TV, snacks, or anything like that. If they do have TV, the Wi-Fi may be down, or your seats TV might not work. So many possibilities. Just to have what is comforting to them. Also, you bring an electronic, bring a tablet of theirs charged with movies downloaded or whatever it may be. Don't assume they will be entertained on the plane just because there is a TV in it or because you think there may be one. Of course, bring your documents, any important documents, in that bag as well. Number 4, bathroom. Use the bathroom outside of security as much as you can before going through security to do any of the business you got to do in the bathroom, but including diaper changes and things, it tends to be less busy and it tends to be, I've noticed, a little bit cleaner than the one inside the terminal. Highly recommend that you take the kids to the bathroom right before boarding the plane so you can avoid their need of having to use the bathroom right at takeoff and landing when they are not supposed to get up. I had a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 3-month-old with a blowout, which was something I guess I couldn't have foreseen, right before takeoff. And I'm holding her like this the entire time we're taking off because it's not yet safe to get up, and it wasn't my favorite time in the world. It really wasn't great. And I was by myself, of course. In addition to that, on the plane, there are also bathrooms, and there's also changing tables in each of them. At least our planes, there are changing tables in the bathrooms, or at least one bathroom on each plane. Tip number 5, if you have a baby, bring a baby carrier. You attach it to yourself, attach the baby to you. Going through security at that point is a breeze. You don't have to take it off to get through security. You also bring your stroller, part of tip number 5. Bring a stroller and you check it at the gate. Having to bring all of that through security is a challenge if you don't have a carrier, especially when you're traveling alone. You want to be able to be hands-free, to be able to put things up through the scanners. Tip number 6, if you have a crying baby, a crying child, don't stress. I know you're suddenly not stressed at all just because I told you not to be. Most flight attendants understand. Most of us are mothers. That's just the way that it is. Everybody does cry, and it's going to happen very likely. A lot of times they just fall asleep the whole flight. You don't know what you're going to get. You can just be as prepared as you can. But if your baby is crying, just worry about that. Take care of that. Be gentle with that. The more calm you are, the more calm they are as well. But don't worry if they cry the entire flight. Honestly, it's okay. Something that helps with calming a baby during a flight, specifically if it is related to blocked ears, is to make sure they're eating, drinking, swallowing something all the time, especially through takeoff and landing. It will be okay. Number 7 is safety related. Having a baby in a car seat on the plane is what is recommended, though that would require you to buy an entire other seat instead of having them as a lap child. If you do decide to have them on a car seat, just make sure that you see the FAA approved label on the car seat that shows you it can travel with you on the plane. Otherwise, make sure you bring something that makes you a little bit more comfortable to sit down holding a baby on your lap the entire time. Another safety related topic is to make sure that all hands, legs, feet, head out of the aisle so that no one gets hit with a cart or by a walking passenger or working crew. Tip number 8, make it a positive, fun experience for them by keeping them engaged. Look, can you tell me which way is gate 52? Do you see your bag? Do you see where we can go sit down? Do you see a place we can go get a drink at? Child-approved beverage, to be clear. You can play I Spy through the airport. That's something that really keeps my kids engaged. Going through international customs immigration on the way there, the long walk in Miami airport that takes years and years to get through. To keep them engaged and also learning so that in the future they feel confident doing it on their own if need be. Tip number 9, figure out at what time traveling would be best for your family. Coming back from Ecuador to Miami, it is quite hard to do it at night, having to go through customs immigration Miami early in the morning from it being such a late flight at night. The kids are beat. They took a nap, but then you have to wake them up, and you can only carry one baby, and the other ones have to walk, go through customs immigration to take another flight to come to Orlando again. It is a challenge, and some people find it really easy to travel while the kids are supposed to be taking their nap. Sometimes it's easier for their kids to be awake, to be able to help them. It depends on what age they are and what your preference is. So just keep that in mind before scheduling a flight with your children. Tip number 10. This is a very important tip. Ask a flight attendant for help if you need it. If your child is having a hard time with ear pain and it's not time for service, no safety-related issues going on, we'd be happy to give you a drink for your child, try to provide them with some comfort. Any tips that we may have, we can provide for you as well. There's a spill or your child is sick, most of us would be so happy to be able to assist you. I can't tell you how many children I have held or helped in some way while a parent went to the bathroom or just needed a break. Just ask for help. We'd be very happy to help you. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you feel ready to tackle a great flight as soon as this pandemic is over, or maybe now. And I hope you subscribe, like this video if you want to see more videos like this one, and make sure to hit the little bell so that you can be notified when I post another video. Bye!